Welcome to the third year of SARS-CoV-2 in Idaho, otherwise known as COVID-19 or the coronavirus or simply the Rona. Whatever you call it, the novel coronavirus isn't so novel anymore. Yesterday marked the milestone, 2-year anniversary since COVID was confirmed in the Gem State. Since then, we have had more than 430,000 reported cases in Idaho, as well as 4,819 COVID-related deaths. As if the population of Shelley, Idaho was just wiped away. As we consider yesterday's milestone, we wanted to look back at the COVID milestones we've managed in these past 2 years.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is
COVID-19 first officially came to Idaho on Friday, March 13th, 2020.
And just this afternoon, the department was notified by our Bureau of Laboratories that we have our first positive case of novel coronavirus in a female over the age of 50 in the southwestern part of the state.
That woman had mild symptoms and was recovering at home. Despite being told the risk remained low for the general population, that day, the entire state of Idaho was put under an emergency declaration. The next day, another positive test, this time in Blaine County. Another woman with mild symptoms, recovering at home.
Well, I guess it's a minute early, but we could start.
By the following Monday, March 16th, the city of Boise, along with several other Treasure Valley cities and counties, declared a state of emergency, increasing the level of caution.
Effective Tuesday morning, public access to all city facilities except the airport will cease until further notice.
Within 10 days, on March 25th, Governor Little took Idaho to the next drastic degree of COVID.
Today, I will be issuing a statewide stay-home order for all of Idaho.
That meant places like schools, gyms, bars, theaters, restaurants, nightclubs, bowling alleys, and even playgrounds were supposed to be closed. Places like repair shops, grocery stores, gas stations, and gun shops would stay open. That stay-home order was supposed to stay in place for 3 weeks, but it lasted until May 1st, when Idaho businesses began reopening in stages. Stage 4 started that summer, June 15th. But because of the increasing waves of COVID cases, Idaho was stuck in Phase 4 through the following spring. The day after that original stay-home order was issued, March 26, 2020, we were told of Idaho's first confirmed COVID-related death. There were 3 of them, all men over the age of 60. By the end of the year, we would see more than 1,400 Idahoans die of COVID-19. On December 14th, 2020,
everything that we do in life, there's chances that we may have to take.
Idaho received its first doses of the COVID vaccine. The first to get inoculated? Doctors in eastern Idaho.
The best way to protect our population and our individual people is getting a vaccine.
Suddenly, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. However, despite that increasing vaccine availability, the Delta variant took its toll on Idaho. Crisis standards of care were announced on September 7th, 2021, for the first time ever for hospitals in North Idaho. 9 days later,
equally alarming that we're meeting records for both ICU care and just hospitalizations daily, that we're surpassing, just blasting through our records from December of 2020.
Crisis standards were expanded statewide. That lasted until late December 2021. Then that month, on December 10th, Idaho saw its first confirmed case of the Omicron variant. And here we are. That Omicron variant, while so far has proven to be highly contagious, a little more vaccine averse, overall, it has not been as deadly as previous variants. And that's the good news. And it's also had a much shorter wave. Because of that, just last week, Governor Little announced there will be an end to the state of emergency here in Idaho that he first issued 2 years ago today, or yesterday, that is. He plans to lift it April 15th. Of course, that little stroll down milestone memory lane says nothing about the terminology and adjustments and debates and protests we've all had to navigate in these past 2 years as we tried to figure out on the fly the best way to keep this under some sort of control. Something that should have brought us together did a pretty good job of tearing us apart, or at least trying to. Masks and distancing, those who've recovered, those who have been vaccinated, all of it. Hard to believe, though, COVID vaccine has been available the majority of this pandemic. And still, only a little more than a half of our eligible population in Idaho has been fully vaccinated against the virus.